My name is Maya Regev. I'm 24 years old.
21-year-old Maya Regev and 18-year-old Itay Regev were at the Nova Music Festival in southern Israel October 7th.
They were met by their friend, 21-year-old Omer Shemtov.
And then at 6:29, they shut the music down and they told us that there are rockets.
Seconds later, the sounds of rockets and gunfire filled the air.
Everyone is running hysterically.
אז אנחנו עולים לרכב וכאילו...
עומר ראה כבר טנדר. צרח עלינו להוריד את הראשים למטה, ואז פשוט יצאו מלא מחבלים.
הם פירקו שם משהו כמו 5 מחסניות על הרכב. אני קיבלתי את הירייה ברגל, מאיה קיבלה אותה לפי דעתי 2 שניות אחריי. העלו אותי ואת אומר לטנדר מאחורה.
אותי גם העמיסו על אותו הטנדר. אנחנו ממש נכנסנו לעזה ואני רואה, כאילו אני מסתכלת, רואה אותנו פשוט נכנסים בגדר.
But there, in the lowest place I've ever been, I found something I never expected. I found faith. I became deeply connected to my Judaism, to my Israeli roots, to who I am. There was one more thing that kept me going. Our soldiers. I believed in them with every fiber of my being. I knew I was not forgotten.
After spending a few days in the hospital, the brother and sister duo were taken hostage. They were then released separately, but they were able to reunite in the most emotional way at Soroka Hospital in Beersheba. With Maya suffering a leg injury, she did have to undergo surgery.
You know, before October 7th, I was very shy, but I always knew I was a strong person. You know, my parents raised me to be a strong woman, to be very independent. And after everything that happened, I found myself in some kind of situations when I can be very happy and then can be very mad and then I can be very sad and then I can be very strong and nothing affects me. So it took me some time to navigate between those feelings. I feel like I learned to live with it. I have my family that's surrounding me. I have my amazing partner and my friends that most of them were also, you know, in the Nova Festival, and my brother and my good friend were kidnapped with me. So I feel like we're all living the same life. We understand each other. Like we can see it, not having to say a word. And even with my brother Itay, it happens to us a lot when we're just sitting and we can look at each other and understand each other just with a look. And you don't have to say much for the people around you to understand. When my partner, you know, is with me, when I feel a little bit sad, all it takes is just a look for him to understand and, you know, do something about it. Even when sometimes I don't realize that I'm sad or need anything, he understands it. And so as my family, my friends, the people that went through almost the same thing what I've gone through. Being a friend for me means that being there no matter what, not only when times are good and happy and fun, but mostly being there when times get a little bit more quiet and a little bit difficult, because there are hard times, there are difficult times. So it means seeing your friend, seeing the person in front of you as he fully is and choosing to stay and be there for him or for her, because when times are happy, when there are happy and fun parts, there are also difficult times that we need to be there for our friends to make sure they're okay. Being friends of the IDF, it's almost the same. Most of the times we have wars in Israel, but sometimes we don't have. And when we have wars, like now, our soldiers, they are fighting for our country for now almost 3 years in a row. And FIDF, meaning supporting our soldiers, like they are fighting for our country, FIDF are fighting for our soldiers to make sure they are okay and they have everything they need. And I remember recently that I saw a video that there is a tactical Torah book that was going inside Gaza, and it was amazing for me to see. Like even the little thing means so much for our soldiers, and it's this thing that the FIDF are doing for us, for Israel, for the soldiers. And I think it's understanding of being something bigger than yourself, and it's the values of protection and responsibilities that we have. I was a soldier for 2 years. I was a personal trainer. It taught me about self-responsibility, about being a part of something that's bigger than me, bigger than myself. I met amazing people I never thought I'd meet before. This was before October 7, and after, I was hospitalized for almost a year, and I was alongside wounded soldiers from the war. So I met the most beautiful people that the country of Israel has to offer. I met soldiers who were ready to sacrifice their lives over and over again just for letting us, the people of Israel, live free and safe. I think we have the most amazing soldiers, that we have the most moral army. I'm proud that I was a part of it, and I feel like I still am a part of it. And I'm proud of my friends, and I'm proud of everyone who fought and still fighting for our country. How do I get ready, like in the IDF? Well, I would wake up, of course. I would wash my face, put my hair in a high ponytail, put my sporty clothes. Most of the time we were just wearing, sport shoes, and we just went out for a run, and we went to train our soldiers. So it was a lot of fun. We always started with a warm-up. We used to run. They had these tests that they used to do every 3 months, and we used to train them for the test, for a 3 kilometers run, for doing a certain amount of pull-ups with 15 kilograms on them, and we used to train them for the test. So it was just doing those exercises every day. After I finished the course, I stayed in my base to train the other girls how to train the soldiers. But every day the soldiers come, like from Golani, Givati, paratroopers. They would come and we would train them, and then they would go. One thing I do to reset my day, I think that all of us are finding ourselves in this kind of race of life. So sometimes I found myself like I'm very in a rush to do daily stuff like cooking or cleaning. And sometimes when I realize, I stop for a second and I remind myself that I don't need to be in a rush to do anything, and I need to stop and leave the present, leave the moment, and not chase after my goals. I take a deep breath. I remind myself that I need to be present right now. And if it's not enough, I step outside. I take a deep breath. I look up in the sky. I see the birds. I'm grounding myself, let's say. And then I continue with my day. I found some peace and quiet in myself, and I don't feel like I have to always, talk to people and be very friendly. So sometimes I'm just quiet and peaceful. I love to travel the world. It's something I really love to do. I love to meet new people. I love to visit new places. When I travel and I hear Hebrew all of a sudden, I think it's my favorite thing. I look back and I say, hey, how are you? We always stop for a minute and we're talking, and where are you from originally, and what are you doing here? Are you on vacation? And suddenly you find a connection between you two. So no matter where I am abroad, when I meet a Jewish person or Israeli person, I immediately feel like I'm home, like there is someone here like me. Jews and Israelis, we have a different mentality. From a very young age, we know what is it to live during war. We know what it is to not be ashamed of who we are, even when people attack us, on the streets, even if it's Israel, even if it's around the world. And I think what makes us Jews beautiful is that no matter what happens to us, no matter how people try to scare us and tell us that we don't have the right to live, we're not forgetting who we are and where we came from. And we raise our kids to be Jewish and to be proud of themselves. And we don't need to feel ashamed at all. The one wish I always wish is to always be healthy and to be happy, surrounded by the people I love, to have more kids, to teach them about the Jews' values and all the holidays and everything that we have, to never forget who we are and where we came from and what we stand for and what we fought for so many years and still fighting. And also for us, the Jewish people, to feel safe, to be who we are, because I know it's not easy. And it sometimes can be scary, to walk around and then someone can hear you talk Hebrew and immediately start fighting you or hurting you. So I think what I wish for us is to feel free, to be who we are everywhere we go, without having to be scared or look over our shoulder. In 10 years, I want to live in Israel in my own house with my family, my kids, Bezrat Hashem, being happy with what I have and what I don't have, and just feel safe in my country.